It's America's 250th birthday, and this video is part of a thrift flip challenge. I have this little bench right here that I just thought would be perfect with the American flag on it. So I'm using some painter's tape, and I'm going to add this to the top to mark off my sections, and then I'm going to use this Dixie Belle paint in the color called Antebellum Blue. The America's 250th birthday thrift flip challenge is hosted by the Flippin' Bunch, which is a group of gals who host a weekly night podcast every Wednesday at 7 o'clock. We talk about all things crafty and more. Check us out if that is something you are interested in. Off camera, I added some painter's tape on the blue side of the flag, and then I'm using the tape to make some stripes. I am using the width of the tape to measure my stripes, so my stripes will be 2 pieces of tape thick, and then I will remove the tape where I want my stripe to be. This is the simplest, most easiest way to do this without having to measure a whole bunch of stuff and try and figure all of that out. This is the easiest way I have found to measure stripes. And make sure you press your tape down really well to prevent any bleed through. I'm going to use this Waverly chalk paint in the color called Cashew for my white stripes. And I'm going to kind of just dry brush this paint on there. I want full coverage, but I don't mind a little bit of the wood showing through. I like that vintage, rustic kind of look on this Americana style bench. To be making my own stencils, and I'm using a brown paper bag. I'm just going to tear it to get it all flat. And once I do that, I'm going to take a pencil and draw some stars, different sizes and shapes. And then using an X-Acto knife, I am going to cut them out. With some painter's tape, I'm going to put them on my blue part of my flag. I don't want them to shift or move, and this will just kind of secure them and hold them in place. And then I'm going to tap some of that Waverly brand chalk paint in the color called Cashew onto my homemade stencil, and voila! There it is. Time to remove this painter's tape to reveal these beautiful, nice, crisp, clean lines. And once I've done that, I'm going to tape off the white stripes, then apply some Dixie Belle paint in the color called Barn Red, where my red stripes will be. I did end up redoing some of my stencils. Here's some footage of that. I really didn't like the placement of my first try, so I redid it. No big deal, just painted the blue over top of the old stencils and started again. When the paint was dry, I used some Jolie clear finishing wax to seal my chalk paint. And that was pretty much it for this one. Let me know what you think down in the comments. On to DIY project number 2. I thrift a lot of fabric and fabric scraps. So I have these pieces right here. I First of all, I need to iron them. There's some wrinkles in them. I need to smooth all of those wrinkles. This is important for the cutting process and the sewing process all together. I'm going to trim these all down. I have some pieces that are longer that I can get 2 out of. So, and there's kind of like rounded on the edge. I'm going to trim off that edge right there. I folded these pieces in half. And then after I trim off that weird rounded edge, I'm going to trim the other side, just a tiny little strip. That way I can get 2 pieces out of this long strip. And then I will just continue on and do all of my pieces this way. Now these are all sort of rectangular in shape. It is definitely easier to make this banner if they're all a perfect square, but I'm not going to take the extra time to make them all squares. It really isn't going to matter in the end. It just is going to be a little bit more trickier for sewing, but I'll show you how I do that here in a second. I have one single red piece that is slightly larger than the rest, so I'm just going to use one of my pieces that I've already cut as a template and cut that to the same size. With right sides together, I am going to fold them in half diagonally to create a triangle. And you can see because these are not perfect squares, they're more of a rectangle shape. I have a little bit of an overlap there on my fabric. So what I'm going to do is when I start to sew these, I'm going to start at the point. I'm going to sew up, making sure I backstitch. And then when I get to my end, I'm going to leave a hole. I'm going to leave a little bit of gap there, about 2 fingers wide, making sure I backstitch. Then I'm going to flip it over, and then I'm going to do the same. I'm just going to follow along that edge with my foot, and that will make sure I don't have any holes or gaps in my triangle when I turn my fabric right side out. Hopefully that makes sense to you. Just trying to describe it. Sometimes words are hard, but hopefully I explained it well enough. When I'm finished sewing up all of my triangles, I'm going to turn them right side out just by pulling them through those holes that I left at the top of the triangles. And this is probably the hardest part about this whole entire project. If you make your holes too small, it's a little bit difficult to get that fabric through the hole. So I try to keep it around 2 fingers wide. And then I'm going to arrange my triangles into a pattern that I like. So I'm just going to take a couple of seconds here and arrange them. To hang my little triangles to create my banner, I'm just using some stiff but thin lace and this little handy dandy tool right here, a pen with like a little clip on it. I'm going to use it to hold my lace while I push it through the flag. So I'm just inserting my lace into that little clip, and then I'm going to start pushing my pen through those holes on the triangles. And then I'll just continue doing this until I have every single piece of my flag on my lace. And then, of course, I'm going to finish off by cutting my lace, but I'm going to make sure I cut it a little bit longer. And then I'm going to tie a knot that is kind of like adjustable. What I do is I make a loop, then I bring the end around, and then make a knot, and then I'm able to slide that knot up and down, and that just kind of helps make that loop adjustable. So whoever wants to hang this can, make it bigger or smaller if they want. And I'll show you one more time here again. And then this one is complete. My kitty Jack sure does love it. He wants that string so bad in there. He's checking it out and he just wants to play with it. He's so funny. He loves his strings. And I did generate a couple of photos using AI to stage this banner and some cute little farmhouse rooms. But that is all I have for you today. Make sure you check out the playlist. There's going to be tons of inspirational 4th of July ideas for you there. Make sure you also check out the Flippin' Bunch. We host a weekly podcast every Wednesday at 7 o'clock, and we talk about all things crafty and creative and more. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you have an amazing day, and I hope you subscribe, like the video, and comment down below. See y'all in the next one. Bye.